Well, g'day comrade subscribers. So I was just packing this away to put on my to-do list, and I was just thinking, I quite like this joystick. I think it's probably going to be quite sturdy, if you don't mind the quite non-standard plug. So what I'm thinking of is, well, for this, which is, yeah, pretty ordinary, I might just respray this blue. So I'll respray that one. Now for these fire buttons, which are a bit too, well, they do the job, but they're not really, I'm just thinking you could probably make a small PCB and then just have a micro switch in the middle there, and thus replace it with a micro switch, because I've got some here. So I'll just get one out quickly. Quite small ones. So you could basically make a small circular PCB and have that in the middle of it, and then reuse these two same screws, and so thus have a little micro switch that would just press in there. That might be good. And obviously I need to also fix the fire button in the handle. So yeah, I'm not sure when I'm going to post this, so that's the plan. I'm going to start doing that in the meantime. So the next part, I'm going to pull the joystick apart. I'd like to paint it black, maybe, but I think what I'll do is try and get the rust off these, perhaps clean these up a bit. So these are what hold down the joystick, so we've got the springs there. I'm just taking those off. And give it a bit of a clean, and also try and maybe replace these fire buttons, and also fix this one up here that appears to be broken. Maybe repaint these black, I don't know, let's see. Right, getting down to the nitty gritty. So that's what it looks like with the springs taken out. So that's obviously the contacts there, and we've got the wire going up there for the fire button. So I'll see what I can do about cleaning this up as well. Yeah, very interesting design. I keep all this shabadi in place, and yeah, just keep a note of what's connected to what. Just about done. So this is what the fire button looks like. Obviously just two bits of copper tapped together, and then this is the direction things here. So it's just this folded over, so hopefully I don't break them when I take these off. Give it a good clean. So here are all the metal parts. Might stick them, I think it's white vinegar, is it? White vinegar to get the sorry, try and focus, rust off. I was thinking I could probably replace these with just normal screws. These are the springs. They look okay, they're just a little bit rusty where they were touching the tops here. And that's all the washers, which I could probably replace, and the screws as well. I could probably replace them with, I assume they're about M3. So these are M3. I could probably, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. The rest of it, oops, another screw just came out. Whoop. I will remember how to put all this back together. It's not a problem. So, progress update. So I finished respraying the top case. I'll just get that one out there. So that was the original colour. So 3 coats of blue and then 3 coats of clear. So I'll leave it for a week or so just to harden up a bit. But yeah, certainly on the outside it looked kind of, I'm just trying to think of sun affected. I'm just trying to think of the word. It was kind of like, yeah, starting to scratch off sort of thing. So I think that I think it looks much nicer. There's the bottom case. So I won't do anything here. So this is the original mixture of plastic. Maybe I could respray it black, but I think I'll just leave it. So those go on like that. So that's what it's going to look like. I think that looks okay. Maybe I could spray this clear. I don't know. I think that looks pretty neat. So obviously, you're going to have to do that. So I'll let that dry up. So I've also stuck these into white vinegar for a few hours, and it's got rid of most of the rust, as you can see. So these are basically just rusty. Now they're kind of what they were originally. So those were they were the ones that went here that actually held it in, whoops, to the bottom of the case there. So yeah, they were rusty. So they'll probably rust again, but at least now they're cleaner. So what I might do, so these are the contacts here. These are the actual contacts for the directions, and they make contact with these. So they're screwed into the plastic, and then that's bent over. So that's what actually makes contact. So I might just see if I can clean these up a bit, and then maybe just going to put some flux on. Put some flux on and then solder it. Maybe that might protect it. So I'll do that. And then also fix the top 5 buttons. As you can see, I've completely pulled it apart. But this is, I think it went in like that. I think it's that one there. No, there we go. So it went in like that. And then this wire here, which has come off, already had come off, so I need to have fixed it anyway. There. So it just solders into the bottom of that, like so. And then this goes in the top, and then you've got this bit of metal here, and blah blah blah. Anyway, so I'll fix that, put all that back together, and then I think that the joystick will be ready to go. I've just got to get the actual machine itself working. Yeah. Anyway, now back onto the Alpha, I think, and it continues. So I was working on the Alpha. Because everyone's been taking the time to leave helpful comments, so I didn't want to leave everyone hanging. But so I started doing some hooked the analyzer up to some of the DRAM, and it was working, and now it's decided to stop working. So there's no output at all on the screen. So it's like I want to have a break from it, and I want to just do some more stuff on this. So the Kvant. What's the latest? So here's the pinout. So this is from the manual. So I'm not sure what this is about. So I think this is modifications, perhaps, depending on the type of TV you've got that you're connecting it to. So hopefully I shouldn't have to worry about that. But this is the actual pinout here. So we've got the magnetophone, we've got the television, and then we've got the Pitanya 5 volts, the power supply, and then we've got the joystick. And like I said, it was very, let me just stand up. It was a little bit clever, considering that they're using the same, for the joystick, they're using exactly the same type of interface. As you can see here, what they've done is they've put they're not using the power. So we've got 5 volts on pin 6. That's not connected on the joystick, and ground on pin 4. So even if you do plug the power supply into the joystick, it's not going to do anything. So well, I'll give them that. Anyway, so for television, so apparently pin 1 is green, pin 2 is ground, pin 3 is video, so sync. Pin 4 is red and pin 5 is blue. But what confused me is because when I actually had a look at the supplied DIN cables, that's the magnetophone because it's only 3 pin, so that's the cassette recorder. So that's the magnetophone there. So yeah, magnetophone is VOD and VOD. So I think VOD is exit and VOD is entrance, or it's the other way around. So one's input, one's output, but I'm not worried about that at the moment, so don't worry about that. Yeah, so when I was looking at the provided cable, very high quality cable, we just pull it apart. So, you know, there's 5 pins required for RGBS, or 5 wires, but these ones, it looks like composite and sound because we've got some sort of shielded wire here. So we've got shield. So this here, this will be pin 2. So this will be ground, and then we have 2 cables here. So this looks almost like a composite cable. So, but pin 3 is video. So I guess that could be composite video output. In which case, which way do you look at it? I can never remember. Is it? That's pin 1. 2, 3, or is it 1, 2, 3, and then it's 4, 5. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll try and make up a cable based on that and see if we get, well, if we can get some output at all. We weren't getting anything at all, so yeah. What else I might do is I might actually just add in a 2.1mm socket, because there is lots of nice real estate here. So I'll just add in a nice easy socket there, and probably, yeah, it's not very it's not really the best power connection right here. I might find an alternate, otherwise, yeah, I might hook into there or do something. Yeah, okay. So yeah, power first, then I'm going to make up the cable. I have to say, I do like how easy this is to pull apart. This just slides off, slides out, the little clip there, and actually these connectors are held on by this bit of metal here that's been twisted. So just bend that metal, I guess, and lift this out, and then the connector probably slides straight out. Right, so what am I going to do? Where did I put... there it is. So just 2.1mm DC socket, just drill a hole, stick it in there, and I'm just trying to think of what the best way... I don't really like the way that this is here. Yeah, I couldn't really find any other kind of major power in sort of locations. So let's just, oh, okay, only three bodge wires. Yeah, so let me just buzz around the board a bit. So we've got ground around the outside on the top, and maybe this is 5 volts. Maybe this is a 5-volt rail, so there's some wires here I could probably solder into, perhaps. Yeah, all right, let me try and figure this out. And I think that one there, so that's 5 volts, and of course we've got ground up there. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just plug into the back of the power input socket. Let me just straighten this up. I guess that comes out like so. There we go. And then that just pushes through. So what have we got here? 8. And it could be a 7. It could be a 7. Yep, 8 and 7. So I could just, yep, alright, I might just plug that in and then go into there and then reuse, or I might even redo this whole connection here. It's a little bit confusing because there is a small plus there, but when I check that is actually ground. So this one here is ground, and then this one here is 5 volts in. So yep, I might actually pull that out and maybe redo it. Or I might even be able to put a 2-pin header in there and then connect it in that way. Yes. All right, getting there. Let's see what they've done. Okay, so this is the underside of the board, obviously. And we have the 5 volt, we've got a 5 volt line here. And then we've got a ground line here. So I would say that is, yeah, okay. So that's where they've soldered into at the moment. Ground and 5 volts. Alright, but I'll replace that. I've got some, I'll use my usual wire, I think. Let's see. Okay, after some time, so I've added in 2.1mm socket. Worth it? Oh, maybe. Would have been nice if they just had a pair of power terminals here that you could just, rather than in here. The way I've done it is, well, as you can see, it's in it's in series with the proper power supply. Like if you didn't have the power supply, then I could have just done that. But anyway, whatever. So I like to do it because this way, because it's 5 volts, you could run it off a USB charger, for example. This way also I can just see how much power it's drawing by connecting it up to my lab power supply, my bench supply. I'll just plug that in there. Just plug that in there. Oh, don't tell me it's 2.5mm. I've stuck in. Fangulo. Oh, you know what I mean. Where's my 2.5mm? Maybe that's it. What else have I done? So it's the same. It's the same RGB pinout apparently as the Santaka. So of course I couldn't find my Santaka cable, so I've made up a brand new RGB cable. I'll put the effort in, put braiding on and everything. So this apparently, if it's working, yeah, so which one is it? RGB. Okay, so plug that into there. Of course it's upside down, isn't it? Alright. I could probably replace these sockets as well, maybe slightly better quality Western ones. That doesn't matter. So let me plug this into my GBS 8200, like so. Plug the power into my bench supply, like so. Make sure it's 5 volts because there is no regulator. And we'll see if it works. Plugged in, and yeah, same as before. There's no signal at all. Can't, even though there appeared to be activity. It's drawing about 0.5 amp, so it is doing something. It's drawing 0.5 amp at 5 volts. Yeah, alright, so why is it displaying an image? It's not displaying, well, I'll show you, it's not displaying anything. Nothing to see, nothing at all. Not displaying anything at all. So not even a black screen or garbled screen. So, troubleshooting for this one then. I just press the ROMs, and I got a little bit of a noise out of the speaker and a flash of green on the screen. So I was, because the only thing that's socketed are the EEPROMs. So I was going to try resetting them. Yeah. Alright, it's getting late, but I'll do some quick investigation. I'm getting random. One thing I always kind of do when there's no video output is I'll just check if you can hear the key presses, but just getting random noises at the moment when I press the keys. Just to prove me wrong. But apparently the keyboard, yeah, is you have to press it quite hard after a while, so I don't even know if the key presses are registering. But I'll just have a look at the EEPROMs. They're 27C64, so 8K each, 16K total. So just looking at the left one, that's A12, A7, A6, A5, A4, A3, A2, A1, and then A0. So it seems to be address bus activity, so something seems to be happening. D0. Okay. That looks a bit noisy, doesn't it? I don't know. Well, I am just holding a probe on the EEPROM, so I don't know. That's D0 on the left EEPROM. That looks a bit noisy, doesn't it? That's D0. D1. Ooh. Okay. But jeez, that doesn't look very good, does it? Ugh. I don't know if it's just the not making very good contact. What was that? That was D. That's apparently D1. Oh, let's put single off. D1. Okay. D0. That doesn't look very good either. Then around the bottom to D3. Yeah, that doesn't look very good, does it? Ugh. That looks very yucky. It's still just random noises. Stops just as I put the microphone near it. What about 20? What was it? What is it? 2764. So what do we want? Chip enable, which is pin 20. Is it? I guess 14, 15, 16. Or let me just put that back on run. Oh, okay, there's nothing. Well, was I touching the... Nothing really there, is there? That's supposed to be D4. Okay, that's D4. That's D3. D5. D6, D7, and then chip enable, chip enable A10. Is it A10, was it? Always high. Alright, so okay, so that's the EEPROM. Well, that's the left EEPROM. Won't bother with the other one. Let me just look up the CPU pinout. Just going to check the CPU butt. I just ran a little click. So that's kind of just a brief flash of green on the screen there. It's like a every time I go near the speaker, it stops. It's kind of like a Geiger counter. That's what it reminds me of. Anyway, so CPU, I don't know, let's look at M1, pin 27. What's down here? 20. Well, that's 21. So that's read, write, which is active low, bus AC, wait. Bus request, active low, reset, which is active low, just pin 27, M1, pin 28, refresh, pin 29 is ground, A0, pin 30, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, and pin 40, A10. Which is always high. Okay. So, okay, that's A10. A11, pin 1. Around the other side. We're better off putting a logic analyzer on it. I don't know. Oop. Let's see, A12. That is A13, A13, A14, A15, pin 6, which is clock, 3.45 megahertz. That sounds about right, doesn't it? D4. So, but I don't know, so the data bus looks really bad, doesn't it? I'm not an expert, but it just doesn't look very noisy. The other ones look pretty good. So that's D4, pin 7. We count again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, D4, D3, pin 8. Similar. So there's no data, basically. Okay, which explains why there's no image. There's no data. Pin 20, IRQ, active low. MREC, active low. What's the activity there? Halt. What about halt? Active low. Okay. So the CPU's not doing anything. Is that right? 20, 19, 18. 20, 19, 18. 20, 19, 18. So that is halt, which is active low. And that's low. Alright. 17, NMI, which is active low. And then interrupt, 16. Okay. Well, look at that. That's a nice square. That's a nice square, isn't it? There'll be lots of high frequency in that, wouldn't it? Okay, so I don't know. So halt is active low when it's low, so maybe that's something. I don't know. I'm not a spectrum expert. I need to look this up. So there's no CRT output. The data lines look shit, in my opinion, maybe. And Holt is active. All right, we'll have a quick look at the board again, and call it quits. All right, so they do what I call the Space Invader installation for the capacitors. Notice how they're inverted like that, because there is no coating on the board. So to avoid shorts, they install them upside down like Space Invaders, in my opinion. But as we looked at before, pretty much it's all Soviet era chips. That's the memory there. That's the DRAM, KR565RU5Gs. So that's the DRAM there. An occasional, so like for example, I checked these ones here just to make sure that they weren't touching the pins of the ICs next to them. I think they all look okay. Yeah. So yeah. So I think we're coming over. So I think this is the tape input. Perhaps I think that was the op amp. I assume. Lots of resistors. I think this is also the video output here. That's the video output there. And this is the tape input output. Reset. Yeah, that's the reset. That's the speaker. Yeah, so I'll have a look. So we've got yeah, all right, RGB and tape. So all discrete logic, no ULA. So if it was ULA, I'd just probably chuck it. There's nothing much you can do. Obviously joystick on the left, power on the right. For my 2.5mm, not 2.1mm. Got the power hooked in there where the old one was. Keyboard. There's the keyboard connection there. And that's the joystick connection there. Got the little resistor array, which I love. I love how they do that. These are nice capacitors. These are nice and heavy. Nice. So we've got only two Western parts are these, the EPROMs, 1 and 2. And then, like I said, this looks to be I don't know why it's all scratched, but it looks to be an East German Z80 clone. So I don't know. Yeah, there we go. And then we're back around. Yeah, all right. Sorry, I couldn't get an image up. But, yeah. Let's see. Bye for now.